Hello friends, I'm here with a question for you, and my question is, what did you accomplish this year? Boom. What did you accomplish this year? I'm willing to bet it's more than you think. If we haven't met, I'm Lindsay Satterfield, productivity trainer and coach, and today I want to talk to you ever so briefly about why looking back is so important to your progress going forward. It's something we often miss, but it's really important to your own productivity. I will also be giving you a couple questions to help you look back and extract the gold from the past year, and a free resource if this is of more interest. If you want to go a little deeper, I'll give you a free resource to do that as well. So if you're like most people, you focus primarily on things that are not done, right? The to-do list, all those open loops. And that can stir stress. And the longer the list, the more stressful and overwhelming it can feel. But to combat that, it's really helpful to look at progress, to look at what is done, the done list. That can help to counterbalance the stress of the undone list. So you might be one of those people who loves to cross things off your to-do list. Hello. And you know you're one of those people if you also have something that you accomplish that isn't on your list, that you then, after you accomplish it, you put it on your list for the very purpose of crossing it off because it feels good, right? This is a for real phenomenon. This is stirring those happy hormones we love to talk about, dopamine and serotonin, because we're experiencing our agency. I did that. I accomplished that. That feels good to human beings. And that counterbalances, that motivational neurochemistry counterbalances the stress of only focusing on everything that's undone. So it's important from that perspective to also have your eye on what you've accomplished and what you've learned. So reflection is also important, an important component of growth, right? Because if you don't acknowledge what you've accomplished, the big, the small, the in-between, and what you've learned, the question is it really available to you? Do you really have access to it? Is it really useful? Is it being put to good use? Does it really exist for you? Or is it lost on you? It makes me think of that phrase or that saying, which I always have to think about to say, if a tree falls in the forest and there is no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? So you may have done a whole lot of things this year, but if you haven't gathered it up and extracted it, is it really useful to you going forward? So reflection is not just a retroactive feel, isn't it nice? I reflect. It's really about how you empower yourself going forward, how you fuel your productivity going forward. So this is a perfect time of year to reflect a little bit and see what it is that you accomplished this past year. And you don't need to belabor this. You don't need to take thousands of hours of time to do it. No one has that. You can just take a few minutes of reflection. Here are two areas that you can think about and just brainstorm. I'm a very big proponent of the brainstorm, which is no censoring, just let it rip, because I think you discover things that you wouldn't get if you're just trying to come up with a top 5 or the right answer. So the first question is, what have I accomplished this year? And think both personally and professionally, and include everything. Any little bitty thing that comes to mind, write that down. You're going to be surprised. There are going to be a lot of things that you forgot you accomplished, and it's going to feel good to really extract it from the year and to say, wow, I actually did make a lot of progress on these things. And some things will be very unexpected that you hadn't intended to do that you accomplished. The other question that I think is super useful is, what challenges did I encounter this year and what did I learn from them? Because that really transforms these inevitable challenges that we all have into more fuel going forward. You can kind of take it and apply it to things moving forward and really acknowledge that you've learned that through this challenge. I'd also apply the learning question to your accomplishments. What did you learn through your accomplishments? So it isn't just about racking up accomplishments. It's really about honing your skill, perhaps, or your understanding or your insight or how you might move forward. So those are the 2 questions. If you'd like to get a tool that will give you more prompts to really dig out the gold from this past year, I will put a link in the comments and you can grab that. And I will be back here next week to talk more about goals, because I'm all for the goals, but I'm all for goal getting in the right way. And I want to talk to you about that in the coming weeks. So for now, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.